everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for May 1st, Saturday, 2021. Do any of us really know what silence is? Being still, being silent. When we're drawn to this external activity outside of us, the storm, if you will. So we don't really take any inner perspective of saying, I'm going to just be. I'm going to just disappear and be in total silence right in this now. And the silence isn't something, that we go look for and find. It's something that's within us, deep within the core, the center of our being. Total silence. No music, no nothing, just complete silence. You might want to try it where you, in a room, no lights coming in at all, zero, to distract you. And you could do it a couple of ways. You could have a candle burning and focus on the flame. And everything is totally silent. No phones ringing, no computers, nothing. And stay there. You don't need to have anything at all. It's just fall into this void of total silence. And watch what happens. You let everything go. You step outside the mind. You move into the now. And you're in complete silence. And you try it, do it. At first it's kind of, what am I doing this for? Because ego mind obviously comes in. But you just do it, practice it. And you'll be surprised on what takes place. And everything with ourselves focuses on trust. Trust over fear. The moment you start seeing life as non-serious, which is really tough for a lot of people, a playfulness, all the burden on your heart disappears. All the fear of death, all the fear of life, all the fear of love, everything disappears. One starts living with a very light weight or almost no weight. So weightless, one can fly in the open sky, Osho. Trust over fear. We always have a golden opportunity to choose trust over fear. And when we learn how to let go of this vice grip we have on life, we immediately make a more intimate space for a closer relationship with the divine healing intelligence that abides behind everything. All of us, all of our overly fearful, doubtful, and protective feelings instantly fade away when we are trusting that a divine intelligence is always present in our lives. A softness blossoms inside, and we regain our natural ability to relax fully into our bodies. And then we can start enjoying every detail about our present, past, and future without going there. With a deep trust, we can evolve as spiritual beings. And without it, we are absolutely lost. We can ascend to the point where we are trusting that every experience that life brings us is absolutely divine perfection. Even if an experience may be painful, the greater blessing is known and felt hidden inside. A trusting heart can quietly realize how a fear is our greatest teacher, always invoking a higher state of spiritual awareness into our future so that we stop pretending to be these small, powerless, ego-driven beings and start living that truly amazing life we so love. Have you ever chosen trust over fear? Well, what it really comes down to is worshiping our spiritual nature over our ego. It's about a deep devotion to our real selves and being truly dedicated to filling up our precious time here on this earth with more relaxation, appreciation, and joy instead of ego-driven anxieties, demands, and tension. With trust as our deepest guide, we can pierce through the ego's veil of ignorance and perceive those life-challenging people and situations with the utmost patience and appreciation. Having no resistance to fear, we flow with the great spirit of life. And we know everything works itself out karmically in the very end. And this level of trust instills such a fresh, enlightening perspective about life, which instantly liberates the mind from all negative thinking. Putting trust in charge, because that's our choice. We can either choose fear, ego mind, or trust, the God within. With that in charge, we hit an emotional wall of resistance or fear. We open up to it instead of shut down even further. We feel into the wall, knowing there is always a bigger spiritual lesson behind it to be learned, and looking forward to finding out what it is. This decision to be learned and looking forward to find out what it is. This approach is what allows for a deeper state of peace to make its home inside our heart and soul. That's where it's always been, in our heart and our soul. Now, there's a lot of people on this planet where fear has been dominating their lives. So what do you do about that? If they make that choice, they may not be aware of it. You can let it go. You can forgive yourself. A lot of people have a hard time even doing that. Forgive yourself. Let it go. Free the others. Release whatever has happened in your past. And you can move on. It is not worth it to hang on to any low vibration for another day, because that's what it is. There's so many people holding on to all of this fear and guilt and shame, and it overtakes them, and they drag it through their existence, through their life. Not only in this life, They carry it forever. It isn't worth to hang on to such a low vibration. And then you embrace the trust that all the trauma you've received in this life was given by God to wake you up from this deep, sleepy dream. In a way, we are all asleep, and everyone has been caught in some dramatic, perpetually self-wandering victim spin cycle, taught to never trust in life, ourselves, or anyone else again. But you have a choice. You could let it go. And remember, you are still lovable, worthy, totally amazing, exactly as you are. You know, it's almost like, if you could picture this, everybody's kind of waiting, you know, and you're waiting to sign up, right? Oh, I'm going to sign up for that. And you go up and you sign up. You sign up for a massive class in spiritual growth and radical enlightened maturity. You know, so different. Have you ever signed up for something? Yeah, I want to do that. I'm going to sign up for that. So whatever our past life circumstances might have been, we are always given the choice how we wish to respond to them now. Every time we choose trust over fear, everyone's heart opens a bit wider. We feel a more gentle, healing heart, warming energy coming in. And this warm, trusting heart is needed in this life, for the divine, intelligent universe is always testing our level of awareness, checking in to see how awake we truly are. And the test is always the same. How will we choose to respond? With more trust or more fear? It might throw us a bag of super sour lemons just to see if we know how to add some playful, creative sweetness and make a pitcher of lemonade. To not value the gift of a human incarnation is like trading a diamond for a head of cabbage, Vedic sage. It's good to know that the opposite of fear is not love. It is trust. Yet, through living a life of trust, we naturally start falling in love with everything and everyone. With 100% trust, we become a loveaholic of life, feeling naturally orgasmic about this precious opportunity we have to live. Feeling completely turned on by this chance to find our spiritual path and connection. And this ever-expanding feeling in our hearts can become so divine, so open, that every breath feels as though we are making love with the divine. Now, when it's put that way, would you be really ready to sign up for choosing a life devoted to always responding with trust yet? The spiritual power we receive from the trust vibration is absolutely magniglorious. Total trust effortlessly engulfs all kinds of egoic negativity that may try to dominate any room. And when one of us who has 100% unshakable trust enters any community, it is so penetrating and contagious that everyone's ego eventually falls into either embarrassment or humility. And when this group of people are simultaneously begin choosing trust over fear, we can feel this giddy, enlightening joy exponentially expanding through everyone's lives. The group energy becomes more relaxed and at ease with their life, their future, and everything as it is. One person walks into a room. This person has total trust. In themselves and everything. To live a life, this life, flowing with trust, it's important to understand that fear is not a bad thing. It's just not something we care to have behind making any of our decisions. If you make fear-based decisions in this life, you will only create fear-based outcomes. If you try to avoid fear or attempt to delete it completely from your life, it will sneak back in when your guard is down. Fearful thoughts are there to wake you up, invite you in to your biggest self, as they are simply small thoughts small, contracted truths about reality. It's like tiny grains of sand that can be so meaningless and inconsequential unless one of them gets stuck in your eye. It is amazing how something so small can create such pain. You ever had that happen? You ever had like almost it feels like a grain of sand under your eye, under your eyelid, and it's rubbing back and forth, and you try to do everything you can to get it out because it's so irritating? And remember, in walking the path of fear, we are living from our egos, because the ego is always feeling either superior, or inferior. We become very controlling and judgmental. Living in ego, we become narrow-minded and completely unaware that we are abiding in a very small, limiting truth. And we know we are living from ego because we feel constantly unsatisfied. You ever felt that way? No matter what you do, it doesn't fill that emptiness, because we constantly feel unsatisfied because we walk the path of fear from our ego. And we perpetually searching for the next fantastic thing or new pleasure to escape into. And the ego does not know what inner peace is. It doesn't know. See, imagine that. The ego does not know what inner peace is. It is untrusting of new things. It is sticking only to what is comfortable and often feels caught in needing to protect itself from our emotions and feelings. The ego is always, in new ways, developing and creating new ways to hide or shine, because it does not trust our inner light. And it will always be there to guide us through the darkness. But the ego doesn't believe in that. And there's no desire to dominate, no desire to cling, no desire to possess. Guess what happens to the ego? It starts evaporating. Oh, no. In order for us to always choose trust over fear, it's up to us to take a more sensitive approach to feeling into ourselves. so that we can see when we are in a state of trust of fear. You can check in any moment of your day on what is going on in the area around your heart and chest. If it feels expansive and light, you're in a state of trust. And if it's tight and heavy, you're holding on to fear. So the general feeling that we carry in our chests is that our trust barometer is to see what types of choices we're making every day. When we're living in each day of our lives in fear, we tend to want to control everything and force our way through this life. We tend to live in this hurry-it-up mode, anxious, rushing through each sacred experience, missing out on the small, precious moments where it could have felt as heavenly angels were present. And when trust does not become a natural response to this life, we become afraid to make decisions. We stop taking risks. We feel stuck in some kind of weird emotional prison and perpetually unhappy for no reason at all. You ever felt that way? You ever felt, you're just unhappy. There's, I don't have any reason to be unhappy, but I'm just unhappy. When fear is more important than trust, we feel like a failure in this life, instead of simply removing the small speck of sand from our own eye. We spend our time trying to change ourselves and others in the outer world. Once we discover how to trust in the experience of trust, a bigger truth takes over our lives, and the walls of our fearful, boxed-in life slowly fall away. Now, how do you liberate yourself from a fearful state? Well, you choose. You must welcome all your fears with 100% trust, and that remember everything is perfect exactly as it is. Now, that's not that easy for a lot of people. But that's why, because the fear comes first, the trust is last. It usually never surfaces. The universe never makes mistakes. We all know that. We simply we just choose to accept every pile of manure as a message that we need more fertilizer. If your life or mind becomes too overwhelming or challenging, simply refocus your awareness back on the biggest feeling of truth that you can remember. Dwell only on that trusting feeling for 1 to 2 hours. And give yourself permission to stop dwelling on what you fear. How many people dwell on what they fear? And what happened in a very short time? You can find the spiritual light starts seeping back into your very soul again. And it's all a choice. And it's all connected to knowing that we are the God within the body. And when we connect, when we really identify and understand that we are the God, that it's not something flying around somewhere, and that we are not the body, and that all of the happiness, joy, trust, fear, faith, hope is in the God. It is not out there. It never was. And that's so crucial for the evolution of this civilization. Trust in the God that you are. Trust in the universe. Welcome fear. Fear doesn't stand long when you're the God. It doesn't. It doesn't stand long. It evaporates. The only reason it stands long with a lot of us is because we put it through the ego mind front and center. It's a choice. It's part of all of us growing up. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we really care to do is relax our bodies. It is very crucial that we practice being in a state of relaxation. And it doesn't mean you're falling asleep or you're not, you're just kind of bumbling around. It just means that you are relaxed, that your stress level and tension level are almost non-existent, that the body responds and just lets go. And the only reason the body lets go is because you surrender it all. You just, and you ask yourself, is this truly serving me the greatest good? You'd be surprised. Your answer, when you're dragging all this stuff around, you say, no, there's no reason to drag it. Let it go. You understand that and I think from, some from a superficial and others deeper, everything on this planet, we're just leasing, we're renting. Because we leave the body, we leave it all. It's insignificant. It has really no meaning. It's just entertainment for us while we're in the body. So we relax the body. It's just everything that you identify that you're hanging with you and all the fears that you've just sat there and held tight for, it could be years, let them go. Yeah, hi, fear, how you doing? Nice to see you. I'm going to give you a hug. And boom, the fear relieves itself. And the trust comes flooding in. So when you do that, the body just kind of goes, this is great. This is wonderful. They're not dragging that stuff with me anymore. So as the body relaxes, things fall away. You move into the now. And the now is really all we have. We don't have the future because we haven't created it yet. Why would we be in a future we haven't created yet? Does that make any sense to any of it? So, we're in the now. Body's completely relaxed. Not a worry. Fear is asleep. Trust is front and center. And we're just floating. You have no cares, no worries, no nothing. You're just in this deep silence. In the now. And when you're in the now, all that noise, all that chatter that we all experience all the time is gone. And each of us are only in the moment. And the moment stills the ego, the mind, the subconscious mind, because you step out of it. You're no longer in it, you're outside of it. And as the God, you're watching it. So how do you learn how to turn the ego and the mind and the fear into your allies? By viewing how they operate. So the body's relaxed, you've stilled the mind, you're in the now. But some of us, well, all of us have, we have memories, which are great. We all have them. Experience your life. You acquire memories. Nostalgia, reminiscence, which is fun. But some of us will go into a past that's gone. It's dead. Used to be now, moments, but are now expired and long gone. But we go into that past and we get caught up in there and we stay there too long. It's like an elephant graveyard. It's just a bunch of smog and mist and dust and bones and carcasses. Dank. But we end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past, and we relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people on this planet will question themselves often by saying that, you know, it doesn't matter, it doesn't seem to do anything. No matter what I do, I end up here. And that's why. Some of us will go into a future, is, you know, dreaming and wondering, you know, great. It expands imagination. If you didn't dream, how could you create? But wandering into a future that doesn't exist, we find ourselves constantly asking ourselves, you know, why is this happening to me? And why don't I have this? And why don't I have that? And when is this going to happen for me? And when's that going to happen for me? So the now is the power. It focuses us, relaxes us, and it puts us, we guide ourselves into the God. And the God is who we are. Now we look at the body, and because we're not in the body, so to speak, we're just not in it. We're watching it, and we are not the body. We know that. We're not the body. The body carries us around so we can experience physical things in this life. And we see these, they're like, almost like light beacons. They're brilliantly, several different colors, 7 different main wheels of light, and they're called chakras. And they're energy vortexes, but they're not like, you know, we've got 7 pieces of wood going through the center of our bodies and we can touch them and pick them up and move them around and shine them and stuff like that. They're etheric. So they're spiritual. And our God force, love, light, energy flows through them. Because, see, the energy that powers this body, your body, is the God that you are. You're the power. You're the one that powers the body. The body doesn't power you. You power the body. And when you understand that and you embrace that, you're going to understand. I'm the reason, you know, I'm the God. I'm the reason that the body operates. You see the difference there? You see how that changes all perspectives of this life? So then you
realize that you're the true reason that body walks, breathes, steps around. And the breath, which is divine positive energy, that the body needs, comes from where? Well, the root is the energy of the God that you are, which allows the body to function and the lungs to operate and the oxygen to flow and your divine positive energy breath. So in a way, the God powers the body and the breath sustains the body so that the body can effectively hold the God. See? All synergistic. So whenever you are pulled, okay, you're pulled, we are, all of us, we're not exempt. You could be doing something, you could be off somewhere else while you're doing something in the moment. So whenever that happens, you focus on your breath, your divine positive energy. And when you consciously are aware that you're floating off, it's a bad thing, you float off. You just say, I'm going to focus on my breath so I'll be in the now. And as you continually do this, it becomes a habit. So it's automatic, and you just continually do it. It kicks in every time. It's just like, automatic transmission. It's just on its own. Always the now. It is our power center. The now is the connection to the God that we are. The now is the connection to the trust that we have with the God that we are and the universe that's there to assist us. Now, these energy vortexes, these chakras, they're all connected to different organs in our body and emotions. And they're all blocked by all of them, all 7 of them, from the root chakra to the crown chakra, and all the chakras in between. They're all blocked by illusions. They're blocked by illusions. And what are illusions? Diversions. Where do the illusions come from? Where do our illusions come from? The ego mind. See how everything's connected? It's being able to differentiate what is and what isn't. A lot of us follow what isn't, and we leave behind what is. And by doing this, fear is front and center. Instead of an ally, it is almost an enemy. We deplore it, we run from it, we cower to it. And all in all, it is just a thought. It just depends on what we do with that thought. Do any of us believe that, should fear not exist? Well, it exists only for one reason. Because we haven't fully expanded our awareness of the gods that we are. So the fear stays there until we come to a full reckoning and understanding of who and what we are. Then the fear is not there anymore. So we take this the God force of love, light, energy runs through these chakras into the top of our heads, the crown chakra. And of course, that's our direct connection with the God that we are. And it's blocked by ego attachment. And we join our divine positive energy, our breath, with our God force, love, light, energy. and we hold them for a brief moment. We are God, we are love, and we are one. And in that brief moment, we compress and condense these energies into pure liquid energy, omnipotently powerful. And we release them over our pineal gland. Our pineal gland, in this physical body we're in, is important. It's a conduit, it's a connector to all the particles of existence and even beyond. None of us have a fully functional, perfectly healthy pineal gland. Not yet, but we will. And you can view it through your heart, mind's motion picture any way you see it. I see it as a green ball, rosebud. And when I pour this omnipotently powerful liquid energy over it, it immediately transforms into this massive rose with multicolored petals and just an absolutely phenomenal fragrance. And it sends out these shimmering waves that just soak me, saturate me inside and out, every fiber of this body. And I feel it at such a deep level, and the deep peace and the deep eternal love and the deep eternal gratitude is just absolutely off the charts. It isn't describable. And then I discover that the rose is me and I'm the rose. The rose is the God that I am. And I am the rose. And these bodies that we're in, the heart mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind, the higher self, the spirit, the soul, the pure consciousness, the God, all one. We're heaven on earth. The soul and the body is the heaven. The body is the earth. Every step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. And we've learned to shine our light. And the light source is the God within us, of which we are. And that light source floods 360 degrees around us, so it spans out everywhere, flooding and saturating and bathing every single life form on this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it. And life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Pure, deep, eternal love, flooding everything and everyone, non-stop, eternally. See that in your heart, mind, motion picture. Feel it as the God that you are. Know, in the deepest of trust, that this planet and the civilization is ascending in higher and higher and higher vibrational frequencies of deep eternal love, deep eternal gratitude, and deep eternal peace. It is unending. We are never stationary. We are always moving. And we always will be. Now and forever. Now, we're all parts of each other in the collective consciousness, the God, the one. So we reach out to parts of ourselves that are somewhat awake, consciously aware. Now, the other parts of ourselves that are not awake won't hear us. Only those that are will. And so those parts, like the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yama, Yeshua, many, many, many more. The archangels are a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them walking down the street like we see each other. Not really. But yet we meet with them. And it's unexpected. We don't have expectations of meeting angels. We just do. And when we do, it always kind of dawns on you after that. Because something, the God within you says to you, that was an angel. Be aware of it. That was a message. And the message has been delivered. And the message, which is delivered in numerous ways, is clearly stated that it is absolutely phenomenal, magniglorious, wonderful, spectacular to be alive in these bodies. Isn't this life grand? And then the bliss within us bubbles to the surface. And we feel absolutely wonderful. And in that moment, we truly are grateful for the lives that we have. Now, they can surround any one of us in the tens of thousands in numbers because of their vibrational frequency. They can hold a large number in a small space. Now, the Ascended Masters, they've mastered ascension into physical form, out of physical form, and they hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences while in this physical form to perfect our creation. And along the way, we may learn for ourselves that we, as the God, are the light within these bodies, so that when we choose to leave these bodies, we will know that we are the light. We will also know that we are infinite, that we are exhaustless, that we can be anywhere we choose, always and forever. We call out to all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming this circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings out there that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Now, they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this entire universe without any sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of Gugaplexes from every direction, from trillions of universes. And they are with us now, consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light. We're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. The ones that we're somewhat familiar with, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Feline, Zeta Reticuli, Nords, Grays, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avion, many, many, many more. And they are in massive numbers throughout existence in all shapes and forms, and now they are with us consciously. They've been assisting in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We then call out to all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. It's like parts of us all lighting up. And we call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light. And they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations, which we've never seen. As a matter of fact, we only see 1% of what is. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, many, many, many more. And they are all with us now in massive numbers in the trillions, consciously. And we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, and we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a massive circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Massive. The light emanates from the gods within these bodies. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take over 1,000 billion suns in this solar system to even compare to its brilliance. And it is flooding, saturating, and bathing all of our brothers and sisters, whether they may be awake or asleep, all life, the highest supreme value in the universes, on this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it, non-stop, eternally, infinity. We begin to ascend above this planet. As we do, we come into this massive ocean of glitter. And these lights are reflecting everywhere. There isn't one area where they are not. And then we discover that the source of the reflection is an endless depth mirror. It's finally, it's microscopic. But yet you can fold into that mirror. And we discover that it is all of us gathered here in the hundreds of millions, housed in all shapes and forms, on and off world, all teachers, all students, learning, teaching each other, and all one, all parts of each other. Absolutely magnificent. We were immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with a white fire armor that is impenetrable. We are protected from all demon invasion, all attachments, all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, all attempts of lower frequencies trying to invade us. Ever. And this emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, low enough through hatred, greed, fear, sorrow, anguish, envy, manipulation, dishonesty, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so, allowing all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you decide to do this, you are then met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance and send them to pure consciousness where they are absolutely vaporized and no more. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can literally transmute, purify, and cleanse the area where all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high of deep eternal love and gratitude and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain, the rainbows. We are the sky and the clouds. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are everything. And everything is us. So the next time you're taken back in such deep awe of a beautiful sunset or sunrise, a beautiful starry-lit night sky, it is you that you're in awe of. It is the God within that body that you're in awe of the divine perfection that each and every one of us, as the gods that we are. We continue to ascend above the planet. As we do, some of us step outside our physical form and float effortlessly above it. Why? Because we can. Those of us carrying physical form.
and we come in full contact and view of this massive crystalline light tower, which we all created. It's larger than the solar system. And in the center of it is this massive oblong sphere. And in the center of the sphere is this golden white sparkling bowl of light. It is surrounded by numerous rings of light, all multicolored, all shimmering, and they're all sending out waves of misty energy that's penetrating us all, saturating all, head to toe, inside and out. And we find that the golden white sparkling bowl of light is deep eternal love. And then all the rings following, as they send out their waves, deep eternal gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, well-being, great wealth, prosperity, abundance, tranquility, benevolence. It's endless. And it is us. It is the God that we are. And at the top of this column is a golden ocean. We designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees perpetually, eternally, as it's doing with all of us, flooding us all, saturating us. No separation. It's constant. We are all in this golden ocean. Always. And each of us are drops of this golden ocean, and we hold the essence of this golden ocean. And the golden ocean is the drops, and the drops are the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We created this sphere over 3 years ago. It houses well over 1,300 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Think about that through the heart-mind. Realize it. Feel it. Hundreds of millions of beings on an off-world, in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever, somewhat consciously aware, intent of liberating this planet and all civilizations of this planet, in it, on it, above it, and below it, in this now, into the higher frequencies of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. It's amazing. This is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. Trust in the God in that body. Trust in the universe as your greatest ally. Trust in the fear. And then you'll find that the fear eventually is no longer near. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out.
Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Choice. Do you choose trust in the God that you are, and the universe is your greatest ally, or fear? It's a choice. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning, and we will return here Sunday, May 2nd, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.